Hey, this is SkinnyGhost. This tutorial is to kind of give you an idea of some of the things I do in CS2 to make my SIGs. So starting out, we have a transparent canvas that's 150 by 400, and we're going to use an army of 2 render. And to get to it, just hit Control Tab. There we go. And then also a C4D, so hit Control Tab again. That's a good way to scroll through them real fast. To start out, we need to go ahead and add some color. So let's go up here to Edit, and then do Fill, and choose Black. Okay. And now we need to add some brushes, so let's create a new layer. Go Control Shift N, name it brush, or whatever you want to. And then we're going to come over here and choose the brush tool. And then come up here and you're going to hit the little play button to bring up your set of brushes and just pick one at random. Click OK. And I'm just going to scroll through here and try to find one that I think looks real good. Something that might be kind of interesting. Okay, that looks pretty good. So we'll go ahead and choose a color. And since my render was kind of a metallic-y look to it, I think I'm going to go with kind of a dark blue. So we'll just select blue here. Kind of maybe find a nice color that'll work. Okay. And then we're just going to put it on here in a couple of places. You don't want to overdo it because these SIGs get busy really fast. So we're just going to do it in a couple places there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and reset my brush. And just go to OK and pick something small just to kind of keep it out of the way. Okay, now we need to create another layer for our render. So Control Shift in again. Call this one render. And then we're going to Control Tab over here and pick this guy out. So you're going to hold Control and left click the mouse button on the little image over there, and that will highlight it. And then Control C, and that'll copy it. And then we'll just Control V to paste it. And you want a duplicate of this, okay, hit Control J. That'll make another copy for you real quick. And just grab that top copy, move it down. You don't really have to, but I like to do that. And then click the eyeball off so you're only viewing one at a time. And click the top one again so we have it selected. So since it's too big, we need to move it around. Hit Control T and we'll kind of slide it over. And as you can tell, it's way too big. So hit that paper clip up there. And then drop that size down to about 50 to see what happens. And you can see it's still pretty big. Probably way too big. So we're going to try 30. Okay, that's a little more manageable, but you can tell it's still a little too big for my liking. It takes up most of the SIG. So let's go ahead and drop it down to 20. And that's much better. Okay, so we're just going to kind of move it around until we think we got it in the place we want it. When we're done, we'll just click the little check box up there at the top of the screen. Okay, now what we want to do is go ahead and sharpen it. So we'll go to Filter, Sharpen, Sharpen. I'll bring out some of the contrast a little bit to it. I like to give mine a feathered look. So what we're going to do is make sure you have the top one selected. And then we're going to go up here to the Select, Feather. And then I like to do 3 to 5 is good, and then OK. And then you're going to hit Control Shift I, then Delete, and then Control D. And basically what you did is just made an inverse and deleted that, so you kind of have a nice soft effect. So we're going to bring back the other render, hit the eyeball there, and make sure you grab the right one, not like I just did. And you want to slide it over. What we're going to do is create light with this. So you want to find something kind of bright and cool, and that brow right there is kind of nice looking. So we'll go up here to Filter, go to Blur, go to Motion Blur, and I always like to find a sharp angle on the render and see his collars are a nice sharp angle. So we're going to spin this little wheel here till the motion blur is kind of in line with that. That's going to kind of just give it a nice flow. If you can find a good angle like that, kind of bring the pixels down a little bit so it's not so much. Click OK. Alright, we're going to set this to linear dodge. As you can tell, it's pretty strong right now, but we're going to come back to that later, so just leave it the way it is. Select the brush layer, and I'm going to put a new layer. This is going to be for our C4D, so Control Shift N, just call it C4D. And we're going to go ahead and grab the C4D. And once we got it copied, we'll just bring it over and then paste it. And this is a huge render, so you can try to bring it up a little bit, moving it around, but you're going to have a hard time seeing anything because it's so big. So we'll go ahead and Control T, paperclip that bad boy, and go back to 80. And then we're just going to kind of move it around until we find something that looks interesting or something we think is kind of cool. And I kind of like that little spot right there, so let's go ahead and put that on there. Alright, that looks good. So, as you can tell, check mark there, turn off the light. You can see it doesn't exactly match the coloring, so we need to change the colors. So, we're going to hit Control U, and that was going to bring up the color change palette. Make sure you click colorize down here, and then already we got a nice kind of color going. I want it to kind of match that area around his head, maybe something kind of a little darker. So we'll just kind of make it look metallic-y. Looks pretty good. I think I'll go with that. So just click OK. Alright, and we're going to set that to linear dodge. And it's not quite bright enough, so we'll hit Control J to duplicate that layer as well. And as you can see, you can kind of see some of the brush layers coming through there, but we still got some nice movement with a C4D, and it's kind of transparent and cool looking. So now we'll bring back the light. Okay, now before we move on, we're going to have to swap over because the file's done.